Hey everybody, it's Mary with Music City Odyssey. I know it's been a long time since I've recorded a video. Apologize, I've just been crazy busy and I've been trying to kind of figure out what I want to do with my channel, but I think I finally got it figured out. I'm going to get back to my roots because what I really want to do is just share great country music with you. And your definition of country music, mine, and my definition may not always agree, but I'm always going to be bringing you the people that I think are great or doing great music, and they may not be traditional country music, but there's something about them to me that makes them country and makes them well worth listening to. All right, so based on some of the comments I've already received on previous videos, I think there are a lot of you who are going to like the music that I'm bringing to you. All right, so that's enough on that for now. But just know I have a lot of great ideas, a bunch of playlists I want to put together. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun in the next few months and hopefully the next few years. But right now, in this video, I want to talk about the subject that's in the title line. Fanfare is dead. Long live CMA Fest. Now, I've probably just ruffled some feathers. All right, I don't know who will agree or disagree with that statement and question, okay, because the first part, fanfare is dead. It is. The original fanfare, the way it started, the whole reason for being, it's not part of CMA Fest anymore. Now, that's not to say there's anything wrong with CMA Fest. It is it is the largest country music event in the United States that I know of, and you can't find more talent, more music, especially in that country music genre, anywhere else. So yeah, 4 days of just nonstop back-to-back music. So in that respect, long live CMA Fest. But what I noticed last year, when it had been the first time I had gone to Fanfare or CMA Fest since 2005, 2006, 2007. So 2007 was the last time I had attended. And so there were a lot of changes, and I didn't know how much of that was, okay, this is how we're moving forward. It was the 50th anniversary. It was after COVID. So there were a lot of things that went into, okay, this is a bit different. What is it going forward? And so this year, as I was wandering around and listening to all these different acts, seeing who was going to be there, and what I do a couple of weeks, as soon as that not playlist, but the artist list comes out of who's playing at Fanfare or CMA Fest, I go through and I check out every single artist, especially the ones I don't know. And the question for me is, who do I want to see? So I hit CMA Fest with a plan, who I'm going to see, which stage they're at. So I got it all planned out, right? And so as I was going around, and sometimes I'd catch different artists that weren't originally on my schedule, but due to sore feet or timing constraints, I couldn't hit some of the others I wanted to, but I would catch somebody that wasn't on my list and go, oh, I should check them out a little bit more. Maybe I'm missing something. So I'm wandering around hearing everybody that I wanted to see, plus a bunch of people that weren't on my list, but hey, it's great music. I'm going to enjoy it. And there were a couple things that struck me. Number one that I think is good is is way more variety. Now, I came to country music in 1990, so we had all that neo-traditional resurgence, which was great. You love the Alan Jacksons of the world, Clint Black, right? You know, all that type. Love it. But an artist like Keith Urban would not have made it in 1990s country, right? He just was not the epitome. You know, Dierks Bentley would not have made it in the 1990s. So they needed a little, another decade to get to the point where they could sell their brand of country music. And I love what they did. So it's not to say 90s was better than the 2000s. It's better than 2010, better than 2020. It's just different genres. So what I'm glad to see at CMA Fest is there seems to be room for everybody. And here's where I'm going to start ruffling some feathers, and so be it. So, okay, this is my opinion. So I have to wonder if maybe CMA Fest, in its goal to bring as much diversity and different artists to the scene, are they really pushing the boundaries of country music a little too far? And I know, kind of sounding like a get off my lawn type person, right? And what it is for me, because I've heard artists say, hey, I'm from the South, I'm from the country, therefore I'm country. But the music that they play doesn't sound country to me or doesn't feel country. And so I want to push back on that definition that just because you come from the country does not make you a country music artist. Just as I would say, just because you wear a pair of boots and put on a cowboy hat does not make you a country music artist. Now, that being said, I am not saying that any of the artists who were performing at CMA Fest were bad. All right, these were all extremely talented people. Some of it, no, I didn't care for. Now, there's stuff from the 90s I didn't like, stuff from the 60s I don't like, right? I mean, a lot of this is personal opinion. But I can recognize that a lot of these artists just have so much talent. But are they country music artists? And I think that's one of the things we really have to think about. Okay, I am ready to embrace anybody from any country, any part of the country, part of the U.S., any skin color, any gender, gender identity. If you give me good country music, I am with you, because that's all I want is good music. That's all I care about. I don't want an agenda. I just want you. Do you sing good? Do you play great music? Do you make me feel something? And that's what great music does, is it makes you feel something. All right, so that's all I'm saying about CMA Fest. Is there were several artists there that I don't think really fit into a country music festival. Now, just a general music festival, perfect. All right, any sort of music festival. But if it's a celebration of country music, it's okay to say you're influenced by country music, but if your sound and this is hard to define, right? Because genre is a man-made thing, but there's enough about country music that makes it country that I think we have to draw a line at some point and say, hey, I love what you're doing, man, or lady, but I love what you're doing, but it's not country music. All right. I mean, imagine if, let's go with, say, Zach Top. Okay, he's one of the new up-and-comers who's doing traditional country. What if he decided to call himself a rock musician? Do you think the rock genre and the rock fans would embrace him the way country music embraces some of these people that I don't feel are truly 100% country? All right. And again, it's not that they're bad artists. It's just, what are we going to call them? And I know it's an artificial thing. So, I'm a little indifferent about this, I guess. To some degree, I want to see some consistency in what country music sounds like. Now, it has to grow. It has to evolve. That's what all art forms do if they want to survive. But are some of these artists really who we want to see at CMA Fest? I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. What I am happy to see is that there is enough variety that I think no matter what your feelings are, no matter which artist you really like, you can find you can find plenty of music to keep you entertained for 4 hours. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is how things have changed from the original fanfare and why it was started to the current CMA Fest. So, fanfare started out as a way for country artists to say thank you to the fans because country artists knew they would not have a career if it was not for their fans. And you could hear that. And even in 2005, 2006, 2007, you heard that a lot. You heard the artists saying, thank you guys, thank you fans for being there, for supporting us all these years, or I'm just getting started. I appreciate all your good wishes. It was really solid in Fanfare CMA Music Fest that the artists were humble and they were thanking their fans for supporting them. And in fact, I remember one of the years I was down there, I was interviewing an independent artist, and he had his fan club party, and he was telling me the story about how these two rockers, these two rock musicians, showed up at his fan club party, and they're checking it out, and he ended up talking to them, and they said, yeah, well, we heard about this thing in Nashville, that this fanfare, this CMA Music Fest, and how country music artists treat their fans, and how they always tell them, we appreciate you, thank you for supporting us. And these two rockers said, we don't do that in rock music. We had to come see this for ourselves. Think about that. Rock musicians said, hey, wait a minute, we don't do this for our fans, and yet the country artists do? Let's check it out. To me, that's an amazing story. And I felt like, especially this year, as I was moving around CMA Fest, I feel like that's kind of lost. Yes, we have the autograph signings. Some artists still do fan club parties. But you know what? It's the newer and the independent artists. It's not so much the big names anymore. It's not a Garth Brooks who in 1996 signed autographs, took pictures for 23 hours. Think about that for a second. 23 hours. He was not going to stop until everyone that wanted a picture or an autograph got what they wanted. Now, that is an extreme, and I don't know that we need to hold everybody up to that high watermark. But it said something, right? It's, that was Garth Brooks saying, hey, you guys pay my bills, you support me. The reason I have this career is because of you guys. And I just don't hear that as much from the artists playing CMA Fest that you used to. And so I think, and this goes out to all of you artists, all of you country music artists out there, remember the fans. We're the ones who got you there. So CMA Fest, I think, needs to focus a little bit more on that. Bring that back. Because what I heard was, thank you to CMA Fest. Great. Yes, thank you to the CMA because they organize it all. They put it all together. So yeah, thank you guys for doing that. They talk about the CMA Foundation, which again is a great foundation providing music education across the country. So yes, thank you to that. But don't forget, it's the fans that brought you here. It's the fans that keep you on the radio. It's the fans that keep buying your music. It's the fans that keep coming to see you. All right. So that is something I never want to see gone from CMA Fest, from country music artists, appreciation of the fans. And now I have a message for some of the newer country music artists, if you want to call them country music artists, or some of the new artists that are now playing at CMA Fest. Whether you're truly country, whether you just, you come from the country, so therefore you think you're country. Again, you're probably making great music. That's why you're at the fest. So welcome. But here's something I want you to consider when you're talking to a country music audience. Do not, and I only heard one group do this, and I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. There was kind of a feeling, and one group in particular, I'm not going to name them because I do not name names. All right, this is meant to be more of a positive channel, so I am not trying to start any garbage here. But the feeling I got from some of the artists, and this one group in particular, was there was still a put down, a downplay of the history of country music. All right, and there are that. If you've been a country music fan for a long time, you've heard the jokes. And you've heard how people refer to country music. It's all a bunch of hicks. It's a bunch of backwoods people who don't know don't know anything. And if you're going to play CMA Fest, please do not put down the history of country music even slightly. Do not do that. Okay, if you are a new fan to country music, and yeah, you may not like the old stuff. Maybe you don't like Hank Sr., maybe you don't like Patsy Cline. My question is, have you listened to them? But just because you don't like that history, do not put down the history of what country music is, because it was that history that brought CMA Fest. It was that history that brought music that touched people's hearts. All right, so that's all I ask, okay? And that's about as mean as I'm going to get on this video and on this channel. Please, just remember, even if you don't like the stuff that came before, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's bad. A lot of people love that music across the world. So don't put it down just because you don't like it. That's why I will never put down an artist on this channel. I will never talk back. There's a lot of people I don't like. Okay, a lot of music I don't like out there. But I'm not going to spend my time putting anything down that I don't like. I'm just going to talk about what I do like. All right, you can like what you like. I'm going to like what I like. All right, that's it. I'm getting off my soapbox on that note. So thank you for listening to my rant. All right. One last thing about CMA Fest and the changes from CMA Fest versus CMA Music Festival versus Fanfare. You know what I miss? The fan photo lines. You used to be able to, down at the riverfront stages and at Nissan Stadium, or back in the day it was LP Field, whatever, at the Coliseum show. See, it used to be Adelphi Coliseum. They keep changing the name on us. But at the big stadium shows, they used to have a lane where fans could line up and take pictures, get close-up pictures of their favorite artists. And it was a little frustrating because they wanted you, keep moving, right? You couldn't stand there and get all focused, make sure you got it right. If you're anything like me, it's like, no, give me a couple minutes, I got to get this shot right. But they allowed you to do it, and you could just keep going. Well, I don't know exactly when they stopped allowing you to do it. On the website, it says due to increased safety concerns. I don't know if there were incidences. I don't know if anybody got hurt. I hope not. But I miss that because, again, that's something that a fan would be able to enjoy, especially when you're at the big stadium shows. You're not going to get a really good view of it live. And CMA Fest, if you're listening, try to bring that back if you can. All right, so I've kind of babbled a bit, and I hope I made sense. I think I made sense. So overall, the original Fanfare, yeah, it's dead. I don't think CMA Fest will ever be like Fanfare was back in the day. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So the new CMA Fest, I think, has a lot of great things still going for it. Like I said, it's still one of the best places that you can hear 4 days from 10 a.m. until midnight each day. You can hear nonstop music. And it's not just the stuff that's on the stages. I mean, you still have downtown Broadway. You have other shows that pop up, other artists doing things. So yeah, if you're like me and you have a bit of a music addiction problem, and when I say a bit, it's a really bad music addiction problem. Just to give you a hint, I go to a show, and before it even starts, in my mind, I'm like, hey, when's the next one? When's the next one? I mean, it literally. I don't do drugs, but my drug of choice would be music. All right. So if you're like me, it is 4 days of just go, go, go. Let me hear the music. Let me hear the people I love. I can't wait. So yes, in that respect, CMA Fest is great. It's just not what fanfare used to be. All right, everybody. I think that's enough on this video. Thank you for watching to the end of it. Like I said, I have some great new stuff coming up, and we have some great new music coming up. Nate Barnes is dropping his next single. First single in a long time. I've been waiting for music. So, and my understanding is his new album, he's going to have a new album out later this year. So let's keep our fingers crossed, because I think this young man definitely needs to get going with his career. More people need to know about Nate Barnes. But so he's dropping a new single on Friday. So I will tell you all about that. The War Hippies just came out with a new song. I'll do a video and talk to you about that one as well. And I have a lot of topics and a lot of playlists that I want to put together. So until next time, thanks for watching and keep the music playing.